Hey, this is Brett the Hitman Hart, the best there is, best there was, and the best there ever will be. And you're listening to the Smacked Raw podcast.
Hello and welcome to the Smacked Raw podcast. This is your host tonight, Sebastian. I'm here with Rob. Rob, how we feeling tonight?
I am doing all right. I'm feeling great. We had an excellent show.
We did. I was wondering tonight how things were going to go. I thought we had a pretty good overall Raw takeaway the wedding. And I thought AEW knocked it out of the park. So I was wondering how tonight would stack up to the week. And it delivered, in my opinion. We had, 3 returns, Rob, I believe?
I seen 2. There was probably a third, though.
Okay. So you're missing one, I'm pretty sure. So
Probably.
you might be surprised. Depending on if you watched during that time. I know you stopped watching for a while, but I don't know when you stopped watching. We had some WrestleMania teasing. Just really, overall show, it had a reason for just about everything. It didn't feel like there was any filler. Do you agree with that?
I do.
Sweet.
Raw definitely has some filler, and that's something I've been noticing lately. 'Cause you know me; those are like loyal listeners. Know I don't pay attention to things like that.
Yeah.
Lately, I have been.
Yeah, and it might be the fact that AEW is here now. It's easier to point out those type of things when you have a 3-hour show in about 45 minutes to an hour. But sometimes, it's you don't even really need to watch it. You know what I mean?
Right.
But tonight, you never really had that. You had storyline progression and just about everything. You had, feud start. You had a tag team reunite in a way, and we'll get into that. Rob, we not recorded together, and I'm really interested to see how this goes because, like you said, you don't really think about that kind of stuff. I'm gonna try to get you to. That's kind of what I do here on Fridays. So it's gonna be interesting. I thought about that earlier. I was like, man, Rob, he don't really look at like down the line. It's more like present. So it's gonna be we're gonna see what we can do here. But we are here to talk about Smackdown tonight. It was the first Smackdown of the year. We are your one-stop shop for all things WWE and AEW, with some other promotions sprinkled in. We're talking about some of us maybe doing a Wrestle Kingdom show, so we'll see. It's not really set in stone yet, but you can find us at Spotify. You can find us at Stitcher, iTunes, Google Play. Of course, hit us up here on YouTube. Hit that like and subscribe if you don't care. Help us out a little bit. Try to make us get to 100 subscribers. And we're going to do something funny to Vince. Not sure what it is yet. We'll figure it out. He did make me a Jinder Mahal stand for a week, so it's going to be good. We got to get him back for that. That was probably my worst week of 2019. It was a sad time.
I dread the time I lose and I become a Digimon trainer.
Oh no! No, I have one for you, Rob. I already have one, and I will go ahead and tell you because I don't know if the rest of the guys would agree or not. But mine for you is skipping an AEW for a week or two and watching NXT. That's my punishment for you.
Oh, that would hurt. That would really hurt.
Yeah, if you're new here, Rob is completely on AEW side. Rob, have you ever watched
100%.
NXT?
I have watched NXT, and that's why I'm so AEW. Like, nothing against NXT. Nothing at all. Nothing against those who like it. I see why it's the thing. But I have watched a few episodes, and I don't know if it's just because they only gave me an hour. I couldn't get into it. I was just like, it's not for me. I couldn't get into it.
It's interesting. I know you never I know you wasn't into it, but I never knew if you actually gave it a chance. So
yes, I have given it a chance. I honestly think it's the fact that they only gave me an hour to like get invested, and it was mainly matches. I'm like, this is cool and all, but you got to give me like, why is this match happening and whatever.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
but like I have watched the takeovers, and like when the Street Profits won that ladder match, that like I popped.
Yeah, that's
Like,
why.
so I mean, it's cool, but like AEW like picked me off. Like, I like AEW.
Yeah, and AEW did have a strong show this week. I don't know if anyone's seen the ratings yet, but they did draw almost to 1 million, and surprisingly NXT almost did 600,000 with just a award show. So
I do want to throw it out there though that Chris Jericho missed out on an opportunity. You had a New Year's Day show, and you didn't mention that at midnight you had a little bit of the bubbly.
Oh, he did. Yeah, he probably could have dropped that line. He
Like,
actually
I was
sells it.
waiting
I'm
for it.
surprised you haven't bought it yet, though.
I mean, that's a lot of money, bro.
How much is it? I've
can't-
never actually
It's
looked.
like $45.
God,
I
really?
can't do that, man.
Yeah, I've never looked. I just knew he was selling it. Yeah, I won't be buying any of it if it's that much.
Yeah, it's like it's up there, man. Like I can't do all that. Like it's cool and all, but I got 4 kids, man.
Oh, absolutely. I feel you there. But no, we are about to end the week. Like I said, all 3 shows this week I think have done well. It's a pretty big month overall for wrestling. You have all this going on. You also got Wrestle Kingdom, as I referenced earlier, happening the next 2 days. I'm actually going to try to stay up and watch it live. I don't know how that's going to go, but I'm gonna give it my all. I'm going to tribute it to the UK fans. I have to do this every single night to watch wrestling, and try my luck. And you also got an NXT UK takeover as well next week. Next week. So a big month. Royal Rumble, of course. Rob, right now I'm gonna put you on the spot. Who's winning the Rumble?
John Moxley.
Wouldn't that be a thing? Like it was an angle all along. WWE and AEW work together, and all of a sudden everybody shows up.
From a logical perspective, I can't give you an answer.
Can't do it.
From a Rob perspective, Baron Corbin. There's my answer. Baron Corbin.
I should have knew that. He was actually your breakout wrestler of the year, wasn't he? On our award. On our poll. We're doing an award show, by the way. Smackdown Power Awards. AEW, unfortunately, isn't eligible because of them just starting in October.
And I'm going to throw it out there right now. I gave AEW votes, and Kyle told me AEW votes are not valid. And I said, well, then you put me down as a no submission.
But
I voted for Trent as breakout wrestler of the year.
I thought you voted Corbin.
Corbin was...
No, you voted,
okay,
you voted
Trent
male.
was rookie of the year. I voted Trent as rookie of the year. And I voted Best Friends as Tag Team of the Year, and he said it's not valid. And I said, well, you put me down for no submission. Because that's my answer.
So, with Corbin, did you vote breakout or male? I think you voted male, didn't you?
I think it was breakout.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay. It's very valid, though. I mean,
he put the description at the beginning of the year, he is better than he is now, than he was at the beginning of the year. And I said, well, that's Corbin. Because everybody absolutely hated him at the beginning of the year. Now they don't hate him so much.
It's not a bad choice, I don't think. I think he stepped it up in ring, and I think, he's such a despised heel now, and that's exactly what, you should be. So,
right?
He'd most definitely be in my top 3 at least, I would say. I know a lot of people are kind of negative Corbin because they want to be cool and all, but he does his job well. You can't really say he don't. Yeah, Vince, I'm talking to you, anti-Corbin. No.
That'd be cool and all.
Yeah. No, I love Vince, man. He's real cool. He's actually helping with the fun down tonight, and I appreciate that very much. So, just forget I said that, Vince. But, okay, we're 9.5 minutes in here, so I am going to do a rundown of the show real quick before we get into the major happenings.
So you got 30 seconds and you're allowed to move.
No, I'm doing it now. Kyle's just going to have to get over that 30 seconds, man. I waited as long as I could. The show opened up. We had a 6-women tag match. The show opened up with a promo by Bailey. I don't know why we had the promo. It really did nothing. I don't think. But it was interrupted by Lacey and Dana, and then Alexa and Nikki, and they had their triple threat that was advertised. I thought it was a good match. I thought a lot of people had time to shine, personally. It had a rough finish, though, and we'll get into that here in a minute. After that, oh, by the way, Dana Brooke and Lacey did win the match off a swanton. So, after that, we had a recap of Dolph Ziggler stepping on Otis's cake last week. And
That was so mean. It hurt that he had like $200 Jordans on.
That did suck. That did. I noticed that too. I was like, why would you step on cake and that?
Right.
That's like 4 days of work for me. No, not that much, but yeah, it's a nice price tag. But we go to the back. Rose approached Otis, and we had another little progression in their little story. Otis said his mom told him about Dolph stepping on the cake, and I thought that was hilarious. But come back from the break. The Miz was backstage. Kofi Kingston and Big E comes up to him, and I didn't notice that. And well, Rob, I'll be surprised if you do, because you don't really pay attention to that kind of stuff. But Kingston and Miz actually tied for the most titles in the 2010s decade, like 2010 through 2019.
I wouldn't have known that if they didn't bring it up tonight.
Yeah.
I would have had no idea.
I didn't either. I thought that was pretty cool to bring up. Cool stat.
And like when I first heard it, I thought they were lying. Like I thought they were about to like make a joke out of it, but no. Apparently, like it's valid.
Yeah.
But isn't that because like Kofi won the tag team titles like 32 times?
Yeah, he did have some help with the title, but he did have a couple U.S. titles. I think he won the IC title before too, and of course the WWE. But Miz he doesn't really take it well. He slams pancakes down, and Big E, he just cracked me up this whole segment. You just have to go to I can't remember what all he said. But Big E's he's a national treasure. He really is. Go back to the ring. Elias sings a song, kind of sends some shots at Sami Zayn, Shane McMahon, Revival, Dolph Ziggler, King Corbin. And
He said if Shane McMahon comes back, send his ass to Raw.
I'm scared. I'm scared where he got name dropped, if that means anything.
I don't think it means anything. I think it is what it is, and that even I laughed. And like I'm a Shane McMahon mark. I love Shane McMahon. Man, like it was golden. Even I laughed.
No, I did laugh. I'm just scared he's coming back now. But I did laugh. It was kind of weird him saying that though when he was kind of in his posse the whole time. That did kind of pop up in my head. But after that, we have... I don't know if you caught this. Michael Cole kind of snottedly brought up the Revival and AEW rumors. Did you catch that?
I did not.
Okay, he said here lately the Revival has not... or is upset because they don't look elite. Or something along that line. But the Elite was brought into it. And as soon as I heard that, my ears popped up like, whoa, they went there. But
Vince dropping low blows.
yeah. But we went backstage. Revival kind of addressing, those just, they're not taken serious. Putting gimmick matches all the time. Shorty G, speaking of not getting too serious, approached them, told them to embrace it. They made a match earlier for Shorty G versus Dash Wilder. It actually led to something. Shorty G taps Wilder out in just a few minutes. I don't think they got more than 4 or 5 minutes. Scott comes in, goes after Shorty G. I almost say Gable. It's so hard not to say Gable. But the first return of the night here, Sheamus returns. Comes in, the Revival kind of leave the ring, and Sheamus gives the bro kick to Shorty G. So
I gotta plug the fact that like Sheamus is like the whitest white boy in the history of ever.
He is.
And they dropped so much white light on him when he made his entrance. Oh my god! I'm like, my man's a ghost right now.
He is a very white male. Yeah.
He really is, and I mean no criticism by that at all whatsoever. But man, when they dropped all that white light on him, all you seen was eyeballs. I'm like, man, if you closed your eyes, I wouldn't know there was a dude on the ramp right now.
It's funny for me because my brother is kind of white like that, and I make fun of him all the time. I'm like, hey, Sheamus. But no. But it does seem like Sheamus, at least, so far, it looks like he's going to be a heel, and I do want to get into that in a little bit. That is a talking point for me, at least. After this, we get Kofi versus The Miz. They get around 7-8 minutes, I would say. Story of the match, just The Miz being frustrated, kind of favoring the story of the Fiend changing people. Kofi wins via roll-up. Miz seemingly turns heel right after the fact, goes after Kofi. Big E makes the save, Miz runs away. And, the fans ate that up, man. The fans were letting The Miz have it. So.
That kind of, you just mentioned that like he just turned heel tonight, and I was actually asking myself, I was like, wait, was he already heel, or did he just turn heel? So yeah, it happened tonight, but that made me sad. I wanted to tell those fans to shut up. Like, The Miz has given his everything. And The Miz is absolutely awesome. And you're just going to out of nowhere. I mean, not out of nowhere. But you know what I'm saying? Like, tell him he sucks. No, he doesn't. He is The Miz. He's the most awesome thing in WWE. And you're just going to tell him he sucks out of nowhere. His kids almost got.
Yeah.
And his mind is scrambled eggs right now. And you're going to tell him he sucks. No,
Well, I think that kind of is a result of two things. I think that's, number one, the result of just how loved Kofi is. I feel like anybody can attack Kofi and it kind of be a heel turn at the end of the day.
Right. That's valid.
Number two, I think, which not all fans think like this, but some of those fans, if they are like me, I think Miz is a lot better as a heel. So I think they're just more happy that he seemingly turned more than anything. I mean, that was me. And I have mixed feelings about it. He is better as a heel. But like I said, with Sheamus going heel, I do have something I want to talk about just on that principle. But the second return of the night, this is probably the one you missed. Well, I know it's the one you missed because you've seen Sheamus being a very white guy. Yeah, if you blinked, you would have missed it. And I kind of like the way they did it. I kind of don't. But we go back. Kathy Kelly's knocking on the Miz's door. John Morrison opens it.
I missed it. Like, I just must have been not watching the TV.
Yeah, it wasn't long.
Because that's the guy I texted you guys in the chat earlier. I was like, who is this guy? This guy's amazing.
Yeah.
Like, just a little 2-minute promo I seen, like, on YouTube. I'm like, oh, this guy's amazing. He needs to come back. And I missed it? He came back?
Yeah. And see, that's why I didn't know if you knew who it was or not. Are you
I
familiar
don't know
with
who,
him?
I have no idea. But,
Okay.
like, the little 2-minute video I seen of just, like, his entrances, I'm like, this guy is more amazing than The Miz. He needs to come back.
Okay. Well,
I can't believe I missed it.
there's history there, too. He used to have a very successful tag team with The Miz. They used to be tag champs, actually. So it seems like they're going to reunite them. And I think that, even though I don't agree with The Miz turning heel in a way, I think that's a big boost to the tag division because it's getting sort of thin. But no, all happened. Kathy Kelly asked Morrison about Miz, and he said the Miz isn't talking to anyone right now, and he shut the door in her face. Right after that, we got Otis versus Drew Gulak. Drew Gulak tried to drop I think an 842-page PowerPoint.
Yes. Okay, I definitely missed. I can't believe I missed that because like I watched his Gulak stuff because like I remembered that Benji used to bring him up all the time.
Yeah, he's really good. You wouldn't know it if you wasn't familiar for 205 Live or NXT because the main roster just doesn't give him the opportunity to show it. But he is a very good in-ring guy, and he can he does have a lot of character into him with the PowerPoints and, you know, just the stuff that he's been able to do in 205 and NXT. He's really good on the mic. He's top notch in the ring. It's weird because he is that good, but at the end of the day, I do feel like you gotta have that guy that can eat losses. You know what I mean? And on SmackDown, there's just not. They tried to stat SmackDown where there's not a lot of people like that. Like there's no way Jose's and those people of the world. So somebody has to be that guy, and I guess it just sets that it's him. But when you look at the roster, I don't know who else you'd put there.
At least he's getting TV time. I mean, that's
he is getting TV time. And
I'm eating losses, but look, I got 1 million people watching me.
Yeah, and I'm dropping 800-page PowerPoints. I mean, they need to like put those on WWE.com or something. Like you can go and actually look at them. That'd be awesome. But right after that, we got let's see. Did I miss anything right there? What happened at? Oh no, Manny DeVille and Sonya was watched a match on a monitor. Dolph Ziggler joined them, and Mandy told him he feels like he should apologize to Otis. And I think he said he would, but, you know, it's probably not going to lead to anything good for Otis. But Otis did win the match with a Caterpillar and a Vader Bomb. So after...
It's time! It's time!
It's Vader time! Man, I miss Vader. But anyway.
Yes.
And I wasn't real. Well, I was alive during that time. I was born in '94, but I do like going back and watching some of his stuff. I did like Vader. Well, do since I never really watched back then. I guess I kind of can't say I was a fan back in the day. But after that, we got Strowman and Cesaro. You know, we had all this night with all these returns and Miz heel turn, but one of the biggest changes, Cesaro dropped his pants, dude. He went back to his trunks. That's the first thing I noticed when Cesaro was out there, wearing his trunks again, not those khaki pants. But Sami Zayn and Shinsuke was at ringside. Strowman was firmly in control. Cesaro got some offense in, but I feel like Braun kind of controlled the match. Nakamura interfered. Strowman fought them all back. He did his signature ring around the ring and killed everybody except Sammy. Sammy hid under the ring, and I thought that was really smart. I cracked at that. But Strowman wins off the power slam. After the match, Nakamura gets him with the Kinshasa, and Sammy got him the heck out of there. Like, Sammy is scared to death of Braun Strowman. He is, dude. But after that, we had our main event: Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns versus Baron Corbin. Well, King Corbin. I apologize. Dolph Ziggler. It was a good match. They started this match at like, I think it was 9:35. They got a ton of time.
It was early. Because that's one thing I do pay attention to when the main event starts. I look at the clock.
Yeah,
and AEW has taught me to do that because they pay attention to time limits, unlike other people.
It kind of cracks me up though, because I have noticed on AEW. I remember SCU versus Young Bucks, I believe it was, for the tag titles, and you know how all the championship matches are 30-minute time limit. But the match starts at like 9:45, and Justin Roberts is like, "It's a 30-minute time limit." I'm like, "But we got 15 minutes of showtime. How's this gonna work?" But no, yeah, this match got about 15 to 18 minutes, somewhere in there, because of the post-match stuff. There was a disqualification, and they had some post-match stuff.
Which they never rang the bell. I hate when they do things like
Man,
I absolutely hate it.
Daniel was so hurt, though. I had to get to him. I was so worried. Kayfabe. I was worried. I was scared. I mean, really, if I see a guy like the Fiend go after somebody, I'm probably going to lose my chain of thought, too. Like, you know why? Like, I'm like, huh? But, no, we did have a disqualification with the Fiend attacking Bryan.
It took Do you think? Okay, those that don't know, they played not the Fiend's music, but they did the Fiend laugh, and then Brian started looking around like, oh my god, it's the Fiend laugh, and then they went to a commercial, and then they came back, and it just didn't happen. Like it just didn't happen.
Yeah, I didn't like that either, but.
And then it happened later on. Do you think they pulled it at the wrong second? Did like the sound guy hit the button and he wasn't supposed to?
No, I think because I don't think WWE does much by accident. They've always been kind of keen on doing, what they mean to do, production wise.
Like it'd be even better if it was by accident, because I'd rather you do it by accident than like do it and then go to a commercial and then just pretend it didn't freaking happen. I watched it happen. It just happened. Well, I expected you to come back from commercial and Daniel Bryan be on the ground like, I got caught.
Well, during the commercial, I tried to think, and business wise, I could see why they did it in a way. Like if you're not into that match at the time, and thinking about flipping the channel when it goes commercial, you play the Fiend's little thing there, and then you don't flip the channel. You're like, oh,
and then he came back and it's like it didn't happen. Screw you, WWE.
So I think there was a little strategy into it, but yeah, it kind of threw me off as well. I was like, wait. But the Fiend comes out, attacks Bryan, does his mandible claw. I was kind of surprised that we didn't have a Fiend and Roman interaction, and I'll get into that in a little bit. But after that, Corbin and Dolph kind of teased the dog food thing again with Roman. And then what did we hear, Rob? Tell us what we heard.
Usos!
Yeah. Usos coming back, man. The third return of the night. A lot of rumors saying they were going to Raw, but here he is on SmackDown. I think they're better suited for SmackDown in my opinion. But that was what we closed the show with 5 minutes to spare. They actually went off air at like 9:56 or something like that. I was expecting something else.
I did like the fact that they made Daniel Bryan make the Fiend look human. Like, he didn't just automatically off rip get got. Like, Daniel Bryan put up a fight and the Fiend took some blows. Now, like, Daniel Bryan got, but like the Fiend took some blows.
Yeah.
That makes me feel that it's probably not gonna happen, but it makes me feel that Bryan could maybe take his title at Royal Rumble. It's probably not gonna happen, but I like the fact that it took away that 100%. Like, the Fiend's gonna win. This is my piss break, because I don't want to watch Daniel Bryan lose guaranteed for sure 100%.
Yep.
The Fiend looked kind of human.
And they did something else too. It kind of made you think about that too. And we'll get. That's kind of how I want to end the show. I want to talk about that situation. But it does make sense though, where Bryan got so much offense in at Survivor Series. That he's been the one guy, or did I say Survivor? TLC, I'm sorry. But no, Bray faced Miz at TLC. Yeah, it was Survivor Series. I was right the first time. But they have made Bryan the one guy that doesn't look like a chump against the Fiend so far. So I do like that. But no, man, there's a lot of talking points tonight. About 4 or 5 really spring to mind. I want to kind of go in depth. And if you're not listening to if you're still with us here, I feel like I kind of went kind of long on that recap, but blame Kyle if that's the case. He kind of wants me to do it. But no, the first thing I kind of want to get into was the opening match. Man, everybody looked good, Dana included. I feel like all 6 looked really good together. I think they were smart for Alexa, Sasha, and Bailey to carry it, because they have, they have really good chemistry, especially Sasha and Alexa. They carried a good portion of it. But man, that swanton.
It was bad. Like, I was paying attention to what is Lacey gonna botch. What's she gonna botch this time? Because everybody always says Lacey botches stuff, and Lacey's my boo. So I was trying to hope that she didn't do anything, and then she didn't. Lacey did her part.
Yeah,
except for maybe that turnaround jump moonsault thing that she does. And either Bailey or Sasha, whichever was supposed to be on, got pulled out of the way. She kind of botched that a little bit. Like, she lost her footing on the rope.
That's hard to do, though. Like,
right,
that's exactly one of them moves where if you get it 9 times out of 10, I'm not going to say a word. Because That's a hard thing to do completely right, 100% of the time.
But then, like Dana, I was honestly waiting kind of for an X, like for real. Like even Michael Cole was like, she's lucky if she didn't walk away with a couple cracked ribs on that. Because
Yeah.
Dana went right on her midsection.
She did.
Like, there was no cushion.
And Bailey was kind of right over top of her for a good little bit after the match.
Yes, that's the moment I was waiting for it. I'm like,
Yeah.
is she gonna tell the ref that you got to do this?
Yeah.
I mean,
So,
but I think like it might have, if it maybe wasn't Fox, maybe. I don't know. I mean, I'm probably looking way into it, but it was bad. It was a bad.
yeah.
It was no person.
No, it wasn't. I've been on this show the last couple of weeks, and I was kind of dissing the time that the women's got here lately on SmackDown. Not so much on Raw. I feel like Raw's done a good job, but on SmackDown, it feels like they don't get more than 2 or 3 minutes at a time. But they got a lot of time this match. I think they got like 15 minutes or so. Everybody looked good, and Dana, even other than the Swanton, she even looked good. And I did think the right call was to give her the pin. I feel like the SmackDown Women's Division has kind of fell flat here lately. And I know you specifically loved Bayley turning heel, and I did too. I feel like it was much needed. But do you agree with me that, in a way, since not the night she turned heel or the week after, but slowly they're kind of losing momentum on heel Bayley? I feel like they're not really using her.
They're really not using her. Like, I haven't done this in a while. Here's my daughter plug. She looked at me and she's like, you know why Bayley still has her title? Because she hasn't defended it. I'm like, it's one of the most valid things like I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like it fits. Like, she went from this energetic, happy-go-lucky girl to a depressed, like, I hate life type of girl, and she doesn't do anything with her life. Like, that's the way I look at it, and I think it personally fits. Now, she should be used. She should defend her title. She really should. But she just, it fits her character. Like,
yeah.
I don't want to do anything. I'm unhappy. I don't want to do anything with my life. I don't want to do anything.
I don't really think, like, defending the title is necessarily a problem. Like, I guess.
Well, I mean, like, she hasn't defended the title because they haven't done anything.
Yeah, I feel like they just haven't, and they've done this Lacey feud where the kid got involved, but Sasha was the one that got the kid involved. So, like, when you really think about it, since the term, Bayley hasn't really done anything except beat Dana Brooke twice on a back-to-back SmackDowns. I might be forgetting. If I remember right, she did beat Nikki Cross, but that was 3 months ago, and it was it was so underwhelming that you kind of forget about it so soon after. So I feel like when she turned heel originally, she could have been one of the hottest fans, 4 or 5 months out, but I feel like they just let the fire kind of burn, just go out. That kind of sucks. So that's what I meant when I said the SmackDown's women's division's kind of lost a little luster. Even Sasha a little bit. It just feels like they're not on TV enough, and when they are, they only get 2 or 3 minutes. But they did, I mean, like I said, they got a lot of time tonight. Everybody looked good. I thought it was a good first step into getting that division going again. And that's why I thought Dana getting a win was specifically a really good thing. It made her look kind of get some momentum back. Lacey, of course, I don't know, I guess you could kind of throw Dana in there too now that she pinned Sasha, but I would imagine Lacey gets Bayley at Royal Rumble. I think that's the title match.
When Lacey's music hit, that was the first thing I thought. It was like, oh man, Lacey's the one, because like Bayley hasn't got an opponent yet because they haven't used her. But when Lacey's music hit, the first thing I thought was, sweet, Lacey's getting Bayley.
Yeah,
Lacey gets her title shot, even if she doesn't win it. Like, I'm all about Lacey being in there. She's my boo. Like I said a little bit ago, I'm down to see her get a title shot, even if she doesn't take it. I'm down for it.
Yeah,
I'd much rather it be Becky and see her take the title, but I'll take what I can get.
Yeah, and I guess with this match, which I guess is really can't happen because for some reason they put a lot of emphasis on. Well, I mean, I say for some reason, but it was a tag match, so it kind of makes sense. It just felt weird with Asuka being with Becky that they put so much emphasis on the tag match or tag titles. Did you notice that commentary was talking about that an awful lot?
Yep, you're good.
But okay, be your bedtime snack. No, I get a dollar plug too. But no, they did put a lot of emphasis on the tag titles, which I thought was kind of weird with Asuka. Already facing Becky at the Rumble, and I was gonna say you could kind of maybe put all 6 people into this match and kind of make it kind of interesting with you could tease Alexa and Nikki breaking up, kind of tease some tension between Bayley and Sasha, and Lacey and Dana. They're not really a team, so I don't see much teasing there. But
Right.
That would be an interesting thing to do at Rumble. But I don't see it. I think Lacey's the match there, and I think that's good. I think she really did well in her for people that watched it. I know some people are against the Saudi shows and don't watch them or whatever. But I felt for a high pressure moment that it was kind of making history the way she did, her and Natalya. I thought she performed well. I think a Royal Rumble spot, world title match would be kind of good for her. But moving on from that, the second thing I kind of want to talk about is the Sheamus return. Are you a big fan of Sheamus, Rob?
I do like Sheamus, but I liked him better with the bar.
Yeah.
And it's actually kind of funny. Like, my wife watches once in a while, and like she liked the bar. She really liked the bar. And when they broke up, she kind of, she stopped talking about him, whatever. And since he's been teased with his return, I've been giving her shit. I'm like, hey, your boy's here. She's like, not without the mohawk. She hates him without the mohawk. If he doesn't have the mohawk, she hates Sheamus. So I keep giving her more and more shit, and I'm absolutely loving it. Like tonight, I'm like, look, your boy's up. She's like, not without the mohawk. And it's a good time.
No.
But yes, I do like Sheamus. I like what he's about. He's definitely a good kid.
He is. He's one of them. I never fully appreciate. I did love the bar though. I will agree with you there. I thought the whole story of them beating the hell out of each other for 2 months and then getting together and being as good as a tag team as they were was really good.
Sorry, guys. I got to call timeout. I'll be right back. Keep going. I'll be right back.
Okay. Rob has left us for a moment. But as I was saying, I do like Sheamus. He's one of those guys, though, that for some reason I feel like doesn't get the credit he deserves. And I am kind of part of that because I didn't realize how much I liked Sheamus until his return packages started there. And I was like, oh, Sheamus. But there are guys that don't get the respect they deserve, and you don't really appreciate them until they're gone. I think Sheamus is one of them guys. He did have the same injury as Edge that put him out. So, it's just, I don't know, man. Sheamus is one of them, just one of them cats. But he did return. If you can't tell, I'm clearly trying to stall Rob gets back because I have a question for him. But, Smackdown's division, men's division, it's kind of unbalanced, and that's what I thought when he came out to make the save. I'm sorry, my kids came back in here, but when you look at the men's division, it's very heel heavy.
Because heels are the best.
There you are, Rob. I was clearly trying to stop because this is what I was wanting to get into, and I felt weird. I wanted to get your take on it. When you look at SmackDown's roster, it's very unbalanced with heels to baby faces. You got Roman, Daniel, and Braun, and one of those guys being Roman that, at any time, due to, just how some fans are, you're one or two moves away from kind of getting some booze in there. You know how polarizing he is. And then after that, you got Kofi that's stuck in the tag division because of Woods' injury. Then past that, you got guys like Otis, don't get me wrong, but past that, you don't got a serious, guy. So I thought the Sheamus return as a heel kind of hurt in a way. I feel like that made that worse. And then you had the Miz turning heel too to make it even worse. If you look at the heels, you got Corbin, Dolph, Rude, if he gets to come back from suspension. Did you even hear about that? Did you know Bobby Roode got suspended?
I do know a little bit about
Okay.
it. Like, I've seen that it happened, but that's about, I don't know what it was. I don't know how long the suspension is, but I know he got busted.
Yeah.
And that's all it really.
Yeah, I think it was just 30 days. But you got those three. Now you got Sheamus, Miz, I assume Morrison, since he's kind of aligned with the Miz, Cesaro, Shinsuke. You can just keep going with the heels. I feel like there's a big difference between them. So I know, Rob, you're really favorited with the heels.
Mm-hmm.
But is that a problem?
I don't think it is, but that's just me. Like, I have a very different opinion than most of the WWE and wrestling universe. I'm okay. I can have heel versus heel, and I'd be okay with that. I don't pay attention to things like that. Like, I now that you mentioned it, I see it, but I honestly didn't even really notice. Like, I'm okay with bad guys fighting bad guys. Like, I'm a bad guy. No, I'm a bigger bad guy than you. No, I'm a bigger bad guy than you. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
That's just
I feel like you kind of run into the problem, which Daniel, I guess that's never really a problem with Daniel. Well, I don't know. Well, Daniel's different because he just had a really good heel turn, and he was shoved down your throat, and that's why, he got booed. But you can run it. We've seen you can have that problem with Roman. Braun is questionably booked now with the losses to Brock. I kind of feel like if they're having a Intercontinental title feud with Shinsuke, I feel like he has to win it at this point. But that's another story. But you just don't really have, like, I don't know. I just feel like you gotta have more people that the fans could cheer for. And you run out of matches eventually, I feel like Corbin. Who's he gonna face after Roman, Daniel, and Braun?
take out Kofi. Screw it. Let's go.
Yeah. But Kofi's in the tag division, Rob, unfortunately. And that's the thing, too. The rumors were that Kofi was going to turn heel before that injury. So you could have even added another heel to this squad.
I think Big E should go heel. Just quick on that note. Like, Big E's the one that should be flipped out of the New Day.
Yeah.
I'm just a guy that has an opinion.
I think Big E would be a good heel, too. The few times that we've seen Big E as a serious guy, you know, not in a goofy mood, I think he's done a fantastic job. Like when Xavier got hurt with the Revival, and you can go back to the Usos rivalry and Hell in a Cell and stuff like that. You know, when he's serious, he's a really, really, I mean, look at the guy. Look at his size. I don't have to say he's a scary dude when he's mad or anything like that. But, no, he plays the part well when he wants to. But no, I just want to touch on that. I just feel like, you know, you gotta have more good guys. Like, where's all the good guys at? But if you're like Rob and you don't care who's good or bad, you just want to watch. I understand that.
Week to week basis. Let's go.
You are.
That's how you stay happy.
No, I mean, I don't. The only time this year I actually was unhappy was I mean, I analyze things, don't get me wrong, but at the end of the day, you know, it's wrestling. There's more important things. The only time I got really mad this year was that Hell in a Cell match, man. That Hell in a Cell match was...
That was, even I got mad. I'm like, that's stupid.
And
Yes.
it wasn't necessarily, you know, the match. It was just...
The bullshit way of ending it.
having a draw on a Hell in a Cell match. It wasn't anything to do with the Fiend or anything like that. It was just, why ruin your gimmick? Why ruin your own match? And it's the second year in a row they've done that too, to make it worse.
Mm-hmm.
So that was what upset me about that. Well, we're getting off topic a little bit here. No, well, I did kind of bring it up with the Miz and Morrison. I know you said you wasn't watching when Morrison was there, but I feel like that's a pretty solid addition to the tag division. It looks like that's the way they're going. Maybe even as soon as the Rumble, having the Miz and Morrison versus New Day, and I think that's a great match. We've seen the New Day versus Revival so many times so far, and it's always been good. That ladder match was really good. You know, you got to have a new opponent eventually. And I feel like they just, you know, I think that'd be really, really good. I would ask you, Rob, but like you said, and it's kind of cool though in a way, because this, you know, we've seen so much in wrestling now that there's not many things that we'll see for the first time anymore. But this will be your first time seeing, unless you go back on the network, Miz and Morrison as a tag team. So
Right.
So I can't really ask you if you think that'd be a good feud because you haven't seen them. So, but no, I think you'll like Morrison, man. I really do. He's really good in the ring. I always felt like his promos were a little, but Miz is so good on the mic. I don't even think it matters. Miz will make up for it. But now back to Braun before I get to, you know, the Roman, Bryan, and theme. Do you feel like Braun has to win if he faces Nakamura?
I do,
Okay.
because he's been underutilized. But at the same time, it's Nakamura, and he's still in beast mode. He's still in, I'm going to put my knee in your face, and I'm going to keep my title mode.
Yeah. It's just, you know, you book Braun to be a monster, running through everybody. And then I feel like you're going to run into the same problem you had with Bray before The Fiend, obviously, because now he's unbeatable. But, and kind of a Samoa Joe. I feel like if he loses this feud, then I feel like he's kind of already there in a way because of the Brock stuff and the Brock feud and losing to him so many times. But you can't win the big one, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like you're on the verge of doing that with Braun. I feel like he has to win that belt if you ever want him to be taken seriously in a big match again. And that kind of sucks for Shinsuke, too, because he's not really had a memorable title run, and he didn't with the U.S. title either. So it feels like every time they put a title on him, they just put him in a tag, you know, a little tag feud, and which they had a feud, but he's been in a faction. But it does kind of suck for Shinsuke. I had better hopes for his IC run this time. But we did have Mania teases tonight. Oh, and I did talk about the tag division earlier. We got the Usos in there too now. So I think the John, Morrison, Miz, New Day, Revival, Usos, Heavy Machinery in there too. I think, you know, in a week, and I guess you could add Shinsuke and Cesaro too. I think in a week you've already improved that tag division on SmackDown, like, wholeheartedly. But no, we did have a Mania tease, and this is interesting to me. I said for the last 2 weeks, well, 3 weeks, Roman and Fiend was the obvious WrestleMania match. I thought the only way around that was The Miz winning that triple threat last week, or 2 weeks. No, it was last week. It was last week. I felt like you could have The Miz winning that triple threat match, and then having Bryan win the Rumble, and then stretch their feud to Mania. But that wasn't the way they went. They're having Bryan and Fiend at Mania. But they did kind of tease Bryan versus Roman tonight. And I feel like, I don't know which one is more dangerous for Roman as far as fan perception goes. That's another story. But which one would you rather see, Rob?
Braun for days.
Bryan?
Because I want to see Braun shoulder charge.
No, I meant Daniel Bryan versus Roman or The Fiend versus Roman.
Oh, Daniel Bryan all day. The answer is always Daniel Bryan. Unless it's, Baron Corbin and Brock Lesnar. But Daniel Bryan, for sure. Because Daniel Bryan have a chance to win.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you either put Daniel versus Roman at Mania or The Fiend versus Roman at Mania, I feel like either way you go, you're going to put Roman in a bad place where he can't win with the fans. We've already seen what happens to Roman Reigns when, he's kind of compared to Daniel Bryan as far as fans go. That's what destroyed his run from the get-go. But then you put him in there with The Fiend that is, even though he's a heel, he's probably the most over in the company right now. But, no, I just feel like you're doing Roman an injustice either way. I feel like that's a no-win situation.
Good. Roman Reigns needs to be in a no-win situation. I love it when Roman Reigns loses. I love it. Especially when Baron Corbin did it twice in a row.
Well, the thing is, I feel like he can win the matches. But, I mean, like, booking, like, fan percent. You started watching in January again, right, Rob?
Yes.
Okay, so you might not, I'm sure you know of it, but they tried to put, when did you stop watching before January?
A long time ago.
Okay.
Like, long time ago.
Okay. Well, when Roman first started out, he was well liked in the Shield, and eventually, and I know a lot of people say it's because he got shoved down our throat, but really what started it all was back at not the year that Daniel won the belt at Mania, but the next year. Everybody wanted Bryan to win the Rumble again, and Roman won. And from that moment on, as much as WWE tried, and they tried really hard, they couldn't get Roman over with the fans. Like it was, I say, a lot of people say John Cena but I think Roman's the most polarizing when he retires and his career's over. I think he's probably going to go down as the most polarizing that we've seen, even more than Cena. But no, it really stems from, Daniel Bryan didn't win the Rumble and Roman did, and that's what sent it all out. That's why I said we've already seen what happens when Roman gets paired up with Bryan. The fans are going with Bryan all day. But what I mean is, now Roman's getting the fan reaction that WWE wants Roman to get. They tried for years. They couldn't do it. Unfortunately, it took, cancer and him coming back to really, get some goodwill with the fans. I mean, even when he came, I know it sounds bad, but even when he came out and made the cancer announcement, he had some boos when he came out that night, you know what I mean? And he hasn't really got booed since, is what I'm trying to say. So, they're getting a reaction that they want now. And I feel like if you put them in one of them two matches, it's gone. I feel like fans are going to turn on them. And that kind of leads into what I meant about no good guys. Other than Roman and Bryan, you do got Braun, but I couldn't take Braun beating the Fiend serious right now because of how he's portrayed, or been portrayed. you got nobody to face the Fiend. And Bryan's already had his time, and I don't see him stretching it out to April. So Roman's really the only guy.
Maybe Roman will be the guy to derail him. I don't know. It does make sense.
Yeah,
and built Roman to be this beast.
And that's what I think that's what's going to happen. I feel like that does everything that they've done since Roman's came back as far as getting fans to like Roman. I feel like you're right back at square one. But no, I did feel I would kind of, I didn't think about it, but it would be kind of cool to see a triple threat match between Roman, Daniel, and The Fiend. I think that's a way you can go. I don't even know if that really helps as far as fans' perception, but it makes it, a little more divided, I guess. But, that's really all I wanted to talk about, man. Those 4 major talking points. Rob, are they anything else that, you can really think of that?
Lacey Evans needs a strap.
Well, it looks like she might be getting that chance at the Rumble. So.
No, don't make it a chance. Make it a happen. She looks so sexy with some blue around her waist.
Oh, no.
Especially in that blue dress she had on tonight. I mean, Bailey's all in, not matching belt colors, and Lacey was. Just throwing it out there. That's the things I pay attention to.
I do too. Don't get... I pay attention to the gear, man. Like I said earlier, when Cesaro was match start, first thing I noticed was he was in the trunks, man. He lost the khakis. That's just what I noticed. I was like, hey, he don't look like Applebee's waiter with a shirt off now. That's awesome. But, no. It was a good show tonight, though. Rob, if you had to grade it A through F, what would you say?
Oh, that was an A for sure.
Okay.
There was no bad points at all.
Sweet. I always do a poll. I don't know if you know it, Rob. I always do a poll after the shows, and I think fans voted a pretty solid B. I don't do B plus and all that. I just do the letters, but it was a very heavy B, like most people would be. But no, that's about all we got as far as SmackDown goes. Rob, would you say 2020? I know we got World War III apparently starting, but as far as wrestling goes, would you say we're off to a pretty good 2020?
I think we're off to a good 2020.
I do too. I was pretty happy with everything we got this week. And like I said earlier, for you New Japan fans, it's not over. We got Wrestle Kingdom for the next 2 days. Rob, you staying at the all night, man?
No way, man. There's no way. And the fact I gotta pay for it, I'm sorry. I just,
you don't got to, man. Find us out.
No, I don't do that. Years ago, for those listening, illegal packets stopped becoming a thing in my house.
No, I'm not a big fan of it either. I did try it for last year. I ain't gonna lie. I tried last year Wrestle Kingdom to do that, but it wouldn't work. There was so many people trying to use it, it just crashed.
Right.
But no, I
actually skipped Full Gear was the last AEW pay-per-view. I skipped it because I was broke. I couldn't buy it, and I don't do illegal things.
Yeah, I understand that. I understand that, man. I completely understand. And I will, to kind of clean that up a little bit, I did try last year to pay for Wrestle Kingdom. But for some reason, the bank I had at the time, my card wouldn't go through. It just would not work. I even called the bank, and they tried to do it through their system. But Wrestle Kingdom just wouldn't take it, or New Japan wouldn't take it, I guess. But that bank got bought out, and I thought about it earlier today. I was like, hey, I wonder if it's a new bank now, a new system, if it would work. And it did. It went through, so. Yeah, I'm gonna try to tough it out. Try to be like the friend guys across the pond for a night or two and watch wrestling at 6 o'clock in the morning. It's gonna be great. I'm gonna love it. I'll be dead come Monday, but I love it. No, that's all we got. Like I said, Find us on just about any audio place you can get: Stitcher, Spotify, Google Play, Podbean, and also YouTube. Hit like and subscribe if you don't mind. I am Sebastian at WrestlingFan_32. Rob, where can I get you?
2 words, can't see me.
With a C. And we are, of course, at SmackDrawPod on Twitter. Hit us up, man. And I always, where we're at, we get here, and I always try to get questions for the show. Don't be afraid to leave us questions after a show, man. We want to talk wrestling with you guys. Whether it's me hosting, Kyle hosting, Vince hosting, Rob, you used to host sometimes, right?
I hosted everything at the start, and then my laptop died.
Yeah. Which you got work, man. You got to get up, 3 in the morning? Something like that for work?
Yeah, 3, 4-ish. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't need to stay up and do the production stuff, man. That's too hard. But, no.
Nope. I'd start the render before work, and then after work, I'd upload it.
Yeah.
And that was it. Like, no fancy descriptions or nothing.
I mean, you got to do what
My descriptions were, we cover last night's Smackdown.
You can only do what you can do, man. You can only do what you can do. But, no. Don't be afraid to hit us up, guys. We want to talk wrestling with you guys. We say that each and every week. So hit us up. We're really good people. We try, and we're not gonna bash you for any fault. You could come up and tell me that Sin Cara is the greatest of all time, and I might be like, well, I don't know about that, but I'm not gonna crap on your opinion. But no, just hit us up. We want to talk. Pay-per-view, weekly, don't matter. We cover it all. Rob, anything else you want to say before we head?
I'm good.
All
Thanks
right,
for
man.
listening.
And, of course, my signature. See you.